The arrival of a dive boat is always an occasion among the islands of Milne Bay. It's a chance to do some trading. The dive boats are a very important link for the people of the coastal villages, as in these remote regions it's an almost cashless society. Village produce, fresh vegetables and fruits, all of which are important to the dive boats, and some artefacts, are traded for canned produce and for rice, which otherwise are almost impossible for the villagers to access. The coastal villages here are isolated. No roads stretch this far, so life has changed little for generations, and the 20th century seems to have slipped past almost unnoticed.
Are you good? Are you good?
Milne Bay lies on the very eastern tip of the Papuan mainland. It's a deep bay, cutting into the end of the landmass, outside of which lie a number of islands and fascinating offshore dive sites. In fact, Milne Bay province boasts that it has more reefs and islands than any other province of Papua New Guinea. As in so many other regions, coral reefs rise sheer from the ocean floor to within a few metres of the surface, and on their peaks, colourful coral gardens grow, the reef tops being alive with healthy corals and a profusion of fish life. Soft corals thrive in the warm sunlit waters. Clams spend their whole lives anchored to one spot on the reef, feeding by pumping water through their valves. The complex structure of the reef provides all sorts of protection. Usually nocturnal, a coral cat shark glides from one daytime lair to another. Small fish dart into the security of the reef at the first hint of danger. Watch the slow motion replay as they disappear in the blink of an eye. Larger fish patrol the coral heads, although they too use the reef structure for shelter and protection. Lobsters lurk in every crevice. Cuttlefish glide through the water, relying not on shelter, but on their colour-changing skills for protection and camouflage. Unique to this region is a practice of storing skulls of enemies killed in battles with rival tribes. They're usually kept on ledges close to villages, or in caves like this one. Years of exploration of the region have resulted in the discovery of many intriguing dive sites throughout the bay. One of these is called Giants at Home. Just off the shore of a small island, within a stone's throw from the beach, lies a manta ray cleaning station, where, in between 5 and 15 metres depth, a procession of giant manta rays pass over a small, isolated coral bommy. On top of the bommy, they hang motionless to allow small, specialised cleaning wrasse to pick parasites from their bodies, before circling round to pass over again and again. It's one of the most dependable manta encounters on the planet. A spectacular reminder of the continuing volcanic origins of the islands off this coast, and that these could erupt again at any time, are the hot geysers, blowing off pressured jets of volcanically heated sulphurous steam high into the air. Though from the surface it looks just like any other beach, in fact it's a real macro hotspot, where it feels like just about anything can be found. In just a few places underwater, for no apparent reasons, the conditions seem right for all types of species to thrive. And in what might seem the most unlikely places to dive, you can encounter huge varieties of macro creatures. Papua New Guinea is at the epicentre of the planet's marine biodiversity, and shallow, featureless dive sites like Diners Beach are magnets for underwater photographers and videographers. You get the feeling that anything could happen here, and sometimes it does. On just one dive, I had encounters with 2 of the ocean's strangest creatures. Creatures that I'd never come across before. This is a Milne Bay nudibranch, which catches its prey by casting its extendable mouth, almost hoovering up the creatures caught in its net. And this, believe it or not, is the longest animal in the world, even longer than the giant whales, yet it doesn't even have a brain. It's called a siphonophore, a twisting, swirling mass of individual animals, all joined together in one long colony of transparent jellies. Amazingly, they all seem to have specific roles, from those at the head and tail, whose job it is to create movement, to the dozens of other body parts which are responsible for eating and reproduction. And just like its more common jellyfish relatives, the siphonophore is equipped with deadly stinging cells which cover its body, providing an excellent defence against would-be predators. A weird and rare giant of the ocean. Milne Bay. Muck dives, manta magic, and always the chance of the unexpected. Plus plenty of entertainment from the local kids during our deco stop.